I don't know if you saw this at all, Razor, but there was actually something that was very profound that was said at the Game Awards. I tweeted this out a couple days ago, but I figured we'd talk about it today.
Was it the Statler and Waldorf roast of Hideo Kojima? Because that was pretty profound. That was pretty
No,
great.
it was not. No, it was not. But this was really profound. This was I just want you to take a listen to this. It's only about 2 minutes long, but I think everybody should listen to this because this is the guy who's presenting the Game of the Year award. Okay, and he's the studio head, and he'll explain it here.
I realize you guys have been sitting here for over 3 hours, but I still have some time credits from last year to cash in. So it turns out that not only will I be the one who will know as first which game wins tonight.
Does nobody buy a suit in their own size anymore at these award shows? Have you noticed that? Everybody.
They're all rentals last minute.
Yeah, everybody in the 2 sizes too small suit at this event.
We're going to pretend you're muted.
Craig.
Sorry, I was talking about the suits to myself. This is Sven, who is the director or the studio head of Baldur.
Oh God, I thought you were making a joke. His name is actually Sven?
Yeah, his name's actually
Yes!
Sven. Yes! All right, let's go and continue here.
So it turns out that not only will I be the one who will know as first which game wins tonight, but I actually also know which game is going to win next year, the year after, and the year after. Now, how do I know this? Well, an oracle told me. She said, change is coming. It's a modern oracle, so they made me sign an NDA, but I trust all of you. I know you can keep a secret. You will never leak it. The oracle told me that the Game of the Year 2025 was going to be made by a studio who found the formula to make it up here on stage.
Okay, so this is actually really profound. So take a listen to what he says here. And a lot of people are seeing this as him bashing the current state of the video game industry. And just pretty much
should, dude. Look what his studio was able to do with AA money. Like, he should be bashing the industry. His game made a lot more money than other games that had $100 gajillion budget. Yeah, like, he absolutely has a license to bash it.
Okay, so here we go. Listen to what he says.
It's stupidly simple, but somehow it keeps on getting lost. Studio made their game because they wanted to make a game that they wanted to play themselves. They created it because it hadn't been created before. They didn't make it to increase market share. They didn't make it to serve as a brand. They didn't have to meet arbitrary sales targets or fear being laid off if they didn't meet those targets. And furthermore, the people in charge forbade them from cramming the game with anything whose only purpose was to increase revenue and didn't serve the game design. They didn't treat their developers like numbers on a spreadsheet. They didn't treat their...
Okay, so
anyway, here's a bear sex scene.
Right.
What?
So here is so notice the big applause here when he talks about the developers. Don't treat your developers like a number on a spreadsheet. And then he immediately goes into the players, and listen to how quickly the applause stops.
Spreadsheets. They didn't treat their players as users to exploit. And they didn't make decisions they knew were short-sighted and function of a bonus or politics. They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow. They were driven by idealism and wanted players to have fun. And they realized that if the developers didn't have fun, nobody was going to have any fun. They understood the value of respect, that if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned. But above all, they cared about their game because they loved games. It's really that simple, said the oracle. Winning Game of the Year turned out to be a life-changing event for us. It was an amazing thing. To those who will win Game of the Year 2024, you have no idea what's waiting for you. It's an incredible honor, and you're in for a heck of a ride. Now remember, should you be told to wrap it up for tonight, you can always come back next year and chat for 3 minutes, okay? So, now...
Okay, so that's pretty much it. But
wow, he basically finished his speech from the year before. That is basically what the gag is there.
Right.
But I just like how he opened up with, they didn't just exploit an existing IP, they created something original. Anyway, here's the third Baldur's Gate game.
But he made The message, though, I think is actually pretty strong of like, make the game, right? Make the game that you want. Don't listen to what any of middle management has to say or any of the executives. You make the fucking game that you want, and it'll survive on its own merits. Don't worry about injecting anything in there. And I think that's like a really profound message that as he opens with, it's lost. Like this formula seems to have been lost in the industry. And that's the most fascinating thing about all this is how you have these companies that have strayed so much from the idea that, once again, you're making games.
Yeah.
Video games.
I feel like it hits RPGs the hardest because you look at the two best RPGs of the last several years, and they've both been these weird AA things that came out of nowhere. Baldur's Gate 3 came out of nowhere, didn't fund the normal way, and Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is about to get a sequel, right? They just kind of addressed their audience, made the role-playing game they wanted to make, didn't sit there with focus groups and checklists and whatever. They just kind of did it. And meanwhile, you got the Starfields of the world that are underperforming, and Dragon Age Veilguard, which may wind up being the biggest bomb in the history of BioWare and may take down the whole company. It's just the tale of two cities right now in the video game industry.
Yeah. Wow. It's amazing. And I thought that was a really good message for the reigning game of the year to come in and say that. And it's such a common sense message of like, just make the game, make it awesome. Don't cower to executives and kind of go crazy. Plus, what do we got here in the private chat?
Oh, that's just from the GDC where he also made like a similar type of speech. But we never talked about it because that was when all the people were screaming, right?
Oh, yeah,
we were laughing at that. But he was basically saying that greed has been fucking up the industry. So like he's had actually a lot of normal takes. That's basically just the gist of it.
Well, let's see. Greed behind this. Yes, and if you're Blabs, please pull up pictures or the videos of the people screaming at GDC because I hope we see that again this year at GDC. March 21st. So that's probably should probably be making my way out to San Francisco so we can I think that actually be really great to head out to San
Gonna
Francisco.
visit Jose Ramirez.
Go say hello to Jose.
My home state.
So if you recall, I don't know if you remember this, Razor, but all the developers standing outside and screaming.
Yeah, they were all just screaming.
Let's see if we got some video of this.
I don't think there's a video in this article though. I gotta find more.
Well, if I can find the Taco Bell commercial from
I'm
1988,
going.
I guarantee I know you got it. But I think it's a good message. I hope, I said this in my tweet, I hope that people will listen to this. Will they? Probably not. The formula doesn't seem like it's that hard, especially when you're dealing with like tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh yeah. And now you've got the same consolidation happening in gaming that's happened in Hollywood, where like 5 companies own everything. It's less than that in Hollywood now. It's like 3 companies, right? They keep gobbling each other up, with Fox getting gobbled up by Disney and blah, 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 blah. Same thing's happening in gaming, right? I've made the prediction. I think we're going to get to the point where it's just Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. There's going to be no big third parties like EA or what. Activision already went away. They get gobbled up. Right? Yeah. I never thought I would even say that sentence because they were so huge at one time. If Activision can go, anybody can go.